Sir? Are you all right? But Marcus couldn't hear him through the ringing in his ears. How had a desperate job interview turned into a marriage proposal from one of the most powerful women in the city? And more importantly, how would he tell his daughter that mommy might not be coming back, but someone new wanted to be part of their family? If you're touched by this story of unexpected love and second chances, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more heartwarming stories that remind us life's greatest blessings often come when we least expect them. Marcus Reeves checked his watch for the 5th time in as many minutes. The receptionist had told him to wait, but he'd already been sitting in this sterile corporate lobby for 45 minutes. He couldn't afford to waste any more time, not with childcare charging by the hour and his bank account hovering dangerously close to zero. Mr. Reeves? A polished assistant finally appeared. Ms. Winters will see you now. Marcus smoothed his second-hand suit jacket and followed her through a maze of glass and steel. This interview was his last hope. 6 months ago, his wife Ellie had walked out, leaving him alone with their 5-year-old daughter Lily. 3 months ago, he'd lost his job when the construction company downsized. The unemployment benefits were running out, and the stack of past due notices grew taller each day. The assistant opened a door to a corner office with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. Behind an imposing desk sat Alexandra Winters, CEO of Winters Enterprises. At 38, she'd built a technology empire from the ground up and was known as much for her brilliance as for her icy demeanor. Mr. Reeves. Her voice was cool and appraising. You're applying for our facilities management position. Yes, ma'am. Marcus tried to project confidence despite feeling hopelessly outclassed. Your resume shows a significant gap in employment. Marcus swallowed hard. I've been working construction for the past decade. The company downsized earlier this year. And you believe you're qualified for this position because I managed crews of 30 men, coordinated with vendors, and handled logistics for multi-million-dollar projects. I'm detail-oriented, hard-working, and I learn quickly. Alexandra's expression remained impassive. This position requires someone who can commit to long hours and occasional weekends. Marcus hesitated. I should mention that I'm a single father. My daughter is 5. I can arrange childcare for regular hours, but emergencies sometimes happen. Something flickered across Alexandra's face, surprise, perhaps, or recognition. I see. The interview continued, with Alexandra pressing him on technical knowledge he didn't possess. With each question, Marcus felt his chances slipping away. Then his phone buzzed. He tried to ignore it, but it buzzed again, and again. I apologize, he said, but I need to check this. It might be my daughter's school. Without waiting for permission, he glanced at his phone. 3 missed calls from Lily's daycare. His heart sank. I'm sorry, Ms. Winters. There's an emergency with my daughter. I have to go. Alexandra's eyebrows rose. In the middle of an interview? My daughter comes first. Always. Marcus stood, dignity intact despite his desperation. Thank you for your time. As he turned to leave, Alexandra called out, Mr. Reeves. Wait. He paused at the door. Take my car. It's faster than waiting for a taxi. She pressed a button on her desk. James will drive you. Stunned, Marcus could only nod his thanks before rushing out. At the daycare, he found Lily feverish and miserable. The director explained apologetically that several children had come down with the flu. Marcus carried his daughter to Alexandra's waiting car, where the driver insisted on taking them home despite Marcus's protests. For the next 3 days, Marcus nursed Lily through her fever, forgetting about the failed interview until his phone rang with an unknown number. Mr. Reeves? Alexandra Winters. I'd like to discuss the position again. Marcus glanced at Lily, finally sleeping peacefully on the couch. Ms. Winters, I appreciate the call, but I don't think I'm what you're looking for. Actually, you're exactly what I'm looking for. Not for facilities management, I have another position in mind. Would you be available for dinner tomorrow? You can bring your daughter. Before Marcus could formulate a response, she added, my driver will pick you up at 6, and hung up. The next evening, James arrived in the same sleek black car. Marcus had dressed Lily in her best outfit, a slightly worn pink dress with butterflies. He'd spent an hour ironing his only decent shirt. The car didn't take them to a restaurant as expected, but to a sprawling estate in the city's most exclusive neighborhood. Alexandra greeted them at the door herself, dressed casually in jeans and a simple blouse, a stark contrast to her corporate armor. Welcome, she said, her smile transforming her face. She knelt to Lily's level. You must be Lily. I'm Alex. Lily, normally shy with strangers, studied Alexandra intently before declaring, you're pretty. Alexandra laughed, a warm sound that surprised Marcus. Thank you. So are you. I made mac and cheese. Is that okay? Lily's eyes widened. With the orange cheese? Is there any other kind? Alexandra winked at Marcus over Lily's head. Dinner was surreal. Alexandra's formal dining room had been transformed with paper plates, plastic cups, and a centerpiece of wildflowers that Lily immediately identified as, just like the ones in the park. As Lily ate, Alexandra explained her proposition. I need a personal assistant, someone organized, adaptable, and discreet. The hours would be flexible, and you could bring Lily when necessary. There's a guest house on the property that comes with the position. Marcus nearly choked on his water. Ms. Winters. Alex, please. Alex. I appreciate the offer, but I don't have the qualifications for that kind of role. She studied him. When you left our interview to care for your daughter, you demonstrated something more valuable than any qualification on paper. Integrity. Priorities. She paused. I respect that. After dinner, while Lily explored the garden under James's watchful eye, Alexandra showed Marcus the guest house, a charming two-bedroom cottage with its own small yard. Why are you doing this? Marcus finally asked. You don't know me. Alexandra was quiet for a moment. My father was a single parent. He worked 3 jobs to keep a roof over our heads. No one ever gave him a break. She met Marcus's gaze directly. Sometimes people just need a chance. Marcus accepted the position. The flexible hours meant he could be there for Lily, and the salary was generous enough to clear his debts. The guest house meant no more rent payments. It seemed too good to be true. In those first weeks, Marcus learned that Alexandra Winters was nothing like her public persona. At work, she remained the formidable CEO, but in private moments, he glimpsed her wry humor and unexpected kindness. She kept a drawer of children's books in her office for the days Lily accompanied them. She remembered how Lily liked her sandwiches cut, diagonally, never in rectangles, and which stuffed animal, a threadbare rabbit named Mr. Hops, was essential for nap time. One evening, 3 months into his employment, Marcus found Alexandra sitting alone on her patio, a glass of wine untouched beside her. Rough day, he asked, setting down the contract she'd asked him to review. Board meeting. The vultures are circling. She sighed. They think a woman can't run this company without a man beside her. 38 and single, clearly there must be something wrong with me. That's ridiculous. You're the most capable person I've ever met. She smiled faintly. Thank you, Marcus. For what it's worth, he added, being single doesn't define you any more than being a single parent defines me. Alexandra studied him with an intensity that made his pulse quicken. How did you end up raising Lily alone? Marcus rarely spoke about Ellie, but something about the quiet night and Alexandra's genuine interest loosened his tongue. He told her about meeting Ellie in college, their whirlwind romance, and the early happy years. How things changed after Lily was born. How Ellie had felt trapped, resentful. How she'd left a note saying she needed to find herself and hadn't contacted them since. Lily still asks when mommy's coming home, he finished, his voice rough. I don't know what to tell her anymore. Alexandra reached across the table and took his hand. Her touch was warm, comforting. You tell her that family isn't always about who shares your blood. It's about who shares your heart. Their relationship evolved gradually. Alexandra began joining them for movie nights in the guest house. Marcus started cooking dinner for 3 instead of 2. Lily took to calling Alexandra Ms. Alex and saving her artwork from preschool for when Ms. Alex comes over. 6 months into his employment, Marcus realized he was falling in love with his boss. The thought terrified him. Alexandra Winters lived in a world of corporate jets and charity galas. He was a construction worker turned personal assistant with a mountain of emotional baggage. Then came the charity auction. Alexandra needed to attend, and her usual +1 had cancelled. Would you mind accompanying me? She asked Marcus. It's for the children's hospital. Black tie. Marcus panicked. I don't own a tuxedo. Already taken care of. She smiled. James will watch Lily. She's excited about their pizza and movie marathon. That night, wearing a tuxedo that fit suspiciously well, Marcus escorted Alexandra into a ballroom filled with the city's elite. She introduced him simply as Marcus Reeves, my right hand, fielding curious glances with practiced ease. During a quiet moment, as they watched couples swirling across the dance floor, Alexandra murmured, "Thank you for coming tonight. These events are usually torture." "Happy to help," Marcus replied. "Though I'm pretty sure I'm using the wrong fork." She laughed, the sound drawing attention from nearby tables. "You're doing fine. Better than fine." Her eyes held his. "Dance with me?" On the dance floor, with Alexandra in his arms, Marcus forgot about the wrong forks and the whispers. For a few perfect minutes, they moved together as if they'd been dancing for years. "Marcus," Alexandra said softly, "I need to tell you something." His heart stuttered. Was she firing him? Had he crossed a line? "I think I'm falling in love with you," she said. "And it terrifies me." Marcus stopped dancing, oblivious to the couples moving around them. "Alex. You don't have to say anything. I know it's complicated. I'm your employer. There's Lily to consider. And 1,000 other reasons why this is a terrible idea." "Alex," he tried again. "I've never been good at relationships. My work always came first. But with you and Lily, I find myself wanting to leave the office early. I catch myself buying children's books I think Lily might like." Marcus kissed her, right there in the middle of the dance floor, surrounded by board members and society photographers. When they broke apart, Alexandra looked stunned. "I'm falling in love with you too," he said simply. The next morning, their picture was splashed across the society pages, Winters Enterprises CEO in ballroom romance. Alexandra's phone rang constantly with calls from board members and PR specialists. "I'm sorry," Marcus said, watching her decline another call. "I shouldn't have done that so publicly." Alexandra set down her phone. "I'm not sorry. Not even a little bit." They agreed to take things slowly, mindful of Lily's feelings and the complications of their working relationship. But life had other plans. 2 weeks after the gala, Ellie reappeared. Marcus came home to find her sitting on the steps of the guest house, looking older and thinner than he remembered. "I want to see Lily," she said without preamble. Marcus felt the ground shift beneath his feet. "You've been gone for almost a year, Ellie. No calls, no letters." "I know." Her eyes filled with tears. "I was in a bad place. But I'm better now. I'm ready to be a mother again." Before Marcus could respond, Alexandra's car pulled into the driveway. She emerged with Lily, both of them laughing about something. Lily spotted Ellie and froze. "Mommy?" What followed were weeks of painful negotiations. Ellie wanted shared custody. Marcus, protective of Lily's emotional well-being, insisted on supervised visits first. Alexandra stayed carefully in the background, though her legal team quietly provided Marcus with the best family law attorney in the state. One night, after a particularly difficult meeting with Ellie and the lawyers, Marcus found Alexandra waiting up for him. "How did it go?" she asked. Marcus sank onto the couch beside her. "She's moving to Seattle for a job. Wants to take Lily for summers and holidays." Alexandra was quiet for a long moment. "What do you want, Marcus?" "I want Lily to be happy and secure. I want her to know she's loved." He ran a hand through his hair. "And I want you. In our lives. Permanently." Alexandra's breath caught. "What are you saying?" "I'm saying I love you. I'm saying that somehow, in the middle of this mess, you've become family to us. To me and to Lily." "Marcus. I know it's fast. I know there are a million reasons why this is complicated. But when I picture our future, you're in it." Alexandra took his hands in hers. "I was going to wait to tell you this. The board is pressuring me to step back from day-to-day operations. They think I'm distracted." She smiled wryly. "They're not entirely wrong. Alex, I would never want to come between you and your company. That's just it. For the first time in my life, I'm wondering if there might be more to life than quarterly reports and shareholder meetings." She squeezed his hands. "I've been thinking about starting a foundation. Something focused on supporting single parents. Flexible work arrangements, affordable childcare, educational opportunities." Marcus stared at her. "You'd give up being CEO? Not give up. Evolve." Her eyes were bright with possibility. "The company will always be part of me. But maybe it doesn't need to be all of me anymore." 3 months later, Alexandra announced her transition to chairwoman of the board, with a new CEO taking over daily operations. The same day, she launched the Winters Family Foundation, dedicated to supporting single-parent families. 6 months after that, on a perfect spring day, Marcus and Alexandra were married in a simple ceremony in the garden of what was now their home. Lily, serving as flower girl, solemnly presented them with rings tied to Mr. Hop's ear. In his vows, Marcus said, "I came looking for a job, but I found a family instead." Alexandra, her usual composure cracking, replied, "And I thought I had everything I needed, until I met the two people who showed me what I was missing." As they celebrated with a small group of friends and family, including a cautiously supportive Ellie, Marcus caught Alexandra watching Lily chase butterflies across the lawn. "Having second thoughts?" he teased. Alexandra leaned into his embrace. "Only about waiting so long to find you." She smiled up at him. CEO to stepmom. Not the career path I expected. Disappointed? Not even a little bit. She kissed him softly. Some promotions you don't see coming. That night, as they tucked Lily into bed, she asked sleepily, "Is Ms. Alex my mom now too?" Alexandra froze, looking to Marcus for guidance. He sat on the edge of Lily's bed. "Alex is my wife now, which makes her your stepmom. But you already have a mom, even though she lives far away." Lily considered this. "So I have a mom, a dad, and a stepmom?" "That's right. That's more than most kids," Lily said, satisfied. "I'm lucky." Later, as they stood in the doorway watching Lily sleep, Alexandra whispered, "Thank you." "For what?" "For walking into my office that day. For putting your daughter first. For showing me what really matters." Marcus smiled, remembering how desperate he'd felt that day, how certain he was that his life was falling apart instead of falling into place. Sometimes the best things happen when we're at our lowest point. I'm going to put that on the foundation letterhead, Alexandra said, leading him away from Lily's room. Right under "From job applicant to husband, results not typical." As they walked hand in hand through the home they now shared, Marcus reflected on the journey that had brought them here. From a desperate job interview to an unexpected love story. From two broken people to a family made whole not by blood.